Happy Friday, mortgage fans. Steve Morris here, one of the directors at Advantage FS, Bristol's best Google-rated mortgage broker, as you can see here. Had a quick question about what are the best tools to use to compare mortgages if you're a consumer on your own. We've obviously got our own in-house tools that are really nice and accurate, quite complicated to use, but not available to customers. So it was a question I had never thought of. So first one I'm going to review today is compare the market. So let's get into it. So yeah, if you want to use the compare the market tool, you go into money. You see on my screen here, click mortgages, nice and simple. And then you basically just stick the details in, and there's not much to put in, and you can get from A to B quite quickly. So if we use an example of someone buying their first home, you stick in the property value in, click in next, putting in your deposit. So let's call that 10%, so 25k. Nice little reminder there, you need more than just the deposit, stamp duty, legal fees, removal costs, and all the rest of it. And then it's just that only a few more details, you can start comparing the products. So far, so good. So if I just use a 35-year term to begin with, it does say up to 40 years. However, only certain lenders will offer a 40-year term. So I'm using 35 just to try and get as many results as possible. Repayment type, so repayment or interest only. I'm sure everyone knows what that means. Again, if you're a first-time buyer with a 10% deposit, you almost certainly can't get interest only. So for now, we'll just go repayment. Fixed rate or variable rate, personally, I prefer it if they could compare both at the same time because of how the difference between fixed rates and variable rates is changing at the moment in the market. But that's just me personally. So fixed rate, and for now, we'll just go for 2 years. As you can see, fixed rates are almost always in 2, 3, 5, 7, and 10. So they've got that pretty much. At the moment, I'd say that's 9 out of 10 for accuracy. This gives you a quick summary. It's not based on much information. You haven't got to give them your national insurance number and your mother's middle name, and you're straight into it. So that's all good. In terms of the results, comes up in a nice easy list. Personally, I preview the list for you there just because you can see more at one time, and it looks more like the sourcing software that we use. So it just looks a bit more familiar, basically. There's a really obvious glaring problem here, though, that you need to be really aware of as a customer. So you should never look for a mortgage based on the monthly payment. And the reason being is if you go for the deal that's just got the lowest monthly payment, very often it's got the highest fees, and that may or may not be the best option for you. So what you want to do is sort by initial term cost. And what that's going to do is it's going to weigh up the combination of the rates, therefore the payments, the fees, and the incentives like cashback, and give you the deal with the lowest overall cost over the 2 years. That is what you want, unless you're willing to pay potentially more over the 2 years just to get a lower monthly payment, if that makes sense. So that is the main thing you need to be aware of. I don't know why they've got that as the default. So that's the main critique and the main problem. But as long as you remember that, it's actually a pretty good tool. So yeah, so you've got a nice list there. I did a quick comparison, and that pretty much matches my sourcing software. So I know it's pretty accurate, and the term cost is the same as well. So far, pretty good. In terms of the other things to be aware of, so things that are a little bit flawed, there aren't any additional filters. So if you're looking, for example, for a deal with no early repayment charges because you can clear, let's say, half the mortgage in 2 years, within 2 years or something, there's no way of searching for those deals. And similarly, there's some deals missing. So on my system, you've got deals with the likes of Reliance Bank, Accord, a few others that I can't seem to get them to show up on here in this specific search, even though they do sometimes in different searches. The channel that you go through to get the deals isn't always entirely accurate either. So if we look in here for Clydesdale, it says it's only available via broker. Same with Barclays, only available via broker. Particularly with Barclays, that's not necessarily true. I'm pretty confident you can get the same deal going direct to them. Okay, so you need to watch out for that. And if I'm honest, that does look like the sort of what we call bait and switch tactics, where they're just trying to get you to speak to their affiliated mortgage broker. So watch out for that. Some omissions that are a little bit weird as well. Not omissions, some inclusions that are a little bit weird as well. AIB, Allied Irish Bank, they're only for properties in Northern Ireland. So to me, it seems a bit of a weird inclusion to include that in a rate table when only a small number of people that's ever going to be relevant for. And there doesn't seem to be any obvious disclaimers to say, you need to bear that in mind. So other than that, I'd say it's a pretty good system. And yeah, it's just got the same, I guess, kind of flaws any rate table has, that it doesn't really include criteria. You're looking at all the deals available, which there are thousands, and that could mean you end up going down a lot of rabbit holes that don't lead anywhere. So for me, it's only half the picture. best way of doing it. I'm biased, I know. Speak to a broker. Most good brokers, within, whilst we're on the phone to you, within sort of 10-20 minutes, we've already in our head kind of filtered down a list of relevant lenders and filtered out the ones that won't do what you need, basically. So it can't do that for you. There are some other websites like Trussell, LNC, that have tried to do that, and in some instances they are relatively accurate, but you need to bear in mind, particularly challenging cases, they seem to actually filter out cases that are possible. So I once put in, a client looking for over 5 times income into the Trussell website, said it wasn't possible when I knew there was a lender for it. So you need to bear that in mind. So overall, I'd say that's a pretty decent 8 out of 10 as a search tool. The deals are relevant, with one small tweak of using the initial term cost. It pretty much mirrors my internal system that I use, so it's got to be pretty good. So yeah, I'd give that probably an 8 out of 10. I managed to get it on camera that time. 8. Here, there, cool. So yeah, next time we do a video, we're going to do about mortgage eligibility, which is the other part, which goes kind of hand in hand with this. And rather than just basic eligibility, we're going to talk you through a bit more kind of what we do as a broker, which is based on matching you, not just based on what you discuss over the phone with someone, but also your documents, underwriting, service timescales, and service quirks of different lenders, to try and give you a bit more of a flavour as to the full journey in getting a mortgage and what to expect. So any questions, just pop some comments down below the video, and yeah, let us know. Cheers. Bye.